Today we're going to be doing the Arizona Cardinals versus the Washington Commanders Week 4 preview. If there's any winnable game for the Arizona Cardinals heading into the 2024 season, most Arizona Cardinal fans has had this one circled for quite some time. The excuses are done. It's time to take care of business. Let's get started. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another video. Definitely do me a huge favor, smack up that like button and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content. On this channel, we're covering the Arizona Cardinals throughout the entirety of the 2024 season, so subscribe it up. It's absolutely for free.
At 250, we're a pissed off team.
Right into it, let's go ahead and preview the Week 4 matchup, the Arizona Cardinals versus the Washington Commanders. And I honestly, as an Arizona Cardinal fan, not to be disrespectful to Washington Commander fans out there, but if there's any game on our schedule in the 2024 season to get right, get our season back on track, it's going to be this game. And we talked about it here heading into the 2024 season, where we looked at the schedule and said, oh my God, we got a gauntlet to start the schedule. But it does ease up here in Week 4, and that's not to be disrespectful. That's coming from an Arizona Cardinal fan that has a franchise quarterback. We're in year 2 of Jonathan Gannon. There's absolutely no reason for this Arizona Cardinal team to lose against a Washington Commander team with a rookie quarterback. And like I said, not to be disrespectful, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful as well. I'm just coming at this from an Arizona Cardinal standpoint. The Cardinals have no business losing this game. There's just so many different storylines to obviously dive into. Let's first talk about Jonathan Gannon. He actually ended up speaking with the media earlier this week, and he said this team is absolutely pissed off. And what I gotta say is good, right? The Arizona Cardinals should be pissed off in the performance that they ended up putting here in Week 3 versus the Detroit Lions. Now, granted, yes, they lost by 7 points, but the offense had many opportunities to win this game, and they just could not get the job done. What I'm gonna say here is use it as fuel. Fix what we need to fix and have this be our get-right game. Now, continue to talk about the storylines. We got the return of Cliff Kingsbury coming back to State Farm Stadium. Our former head coach is now the offensive coordinator for Jaden Daniels and this Washington Commanders team. So any chance the Arizona Cardinals can try to have a get-right game and, kind of shove it to the face of our former head coach, this is going to be the game to do so, right? I know Kyler Murray is going to be wanting to play, lights out. We have a lot of players that played under Cliff Kingsbury that's going to want to come out here and prove that we are a legitimate team. There's no reason to lose this game, but I want to give some kudos to where kudos is due. This Washington Commanders team looks actually pretty darn good. Now, on Monday Night Football, they actually took care of business and actually beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, the Cincinnati Bengals now fall to 0-3, while the Washington Commanders are currently right now sitting at the top of their division at 2-1, or I think they're actually tied at the top of the division at 2-1 with the Eagles. Now, the Arizona Cardinals are sitting at the second spot in their division, where we're tied with the Rams as well as the 49ers. So it's an absolute crazy time in the NFL, right? We never know exactly what's going to happen, but if there's any chance to have a get-right game, this is going to be the game to do so for the Cardinals, right? A rookie quarterback. The Cardinals are in year 2 with Kyler Murray and Jonathan Gannon. This is supposed to be our get-right game for the Cardinals. But let's give some love over to Jaden Daniels right now, where his stats stand. He's got 664 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. He's got a QBR rating of 67.9, but do not let that sway you. This seems to be a really good rookie quarterback. Probably going to continue to put good numbers up, week in and week out, as long as he can stay healthy and obviously as long as he can progress under the Cliff Kingsbury regime. Now, prior to this game versus the Bengals, he had no passing touchdowns. It was all just rushing touchdowns coming from him. Now, Jaden Daniels actually did drop 2 passing touchdowns on the Cincinnati Bengals, which obviously opens up a lot of room for potential growth for this rookie quarterback. And honestly, the Cardinals, what they need to do in this game is they got to rattle the cage of this rookie quarterback, right? We need to be able to get back there and cause pressure. Now, we did that to Matthew Stafford. We did that to Jared Goff. We did that even to Josh Allen, right? We caused pressure. The biggest problem was that we just were not able to wrap up Josh Allen. Now, we weren't able to wrap up Jared Goff as well, but that's going to be more a tribute to that offensive line is just actually better, right? It's one of the best offensive lines we've played so far. When we're looking at the roster here from the Washington Commanders, I think there is a lot of good pieces on this roster, right? Especially defensively. On the defensive side of the ball, they got Deron Payne, which I really do like, Jonathan Allen, Bobby Wagner, Dante Fowler Jr., Jeremy Chin, right? They got a lot of good pieces on the defensive side of the ball, and this is going to be a tough matchup, right? Regardless if they have a rookie quarterback back there, the Arizona Cardinals, whenever we play the Washington Commanders, we always play very, very tough. Now, I want to bring something up as well. Now, last year we played the Washington Commanders and we had Joshua Dobbs being our starting quarterback, and we all said to ourselves, if Kyler Murray was here, we would absolutely win this game. This is the opportunity, right? We have Kyler Murray coming in here, fully healthy, heading into week 4. It's time to put up and shut up, and we got to win this game. Absolutely no excuses. Now, the offensive side of the ball for them, they got a lot of good pieces as well offensively. They got a good running back in Brian Robinson Jr. They got Austin Eckler as well. Now, he was actually taken out of this Cincinnati Bengals game a little earlier. He was already ruled out, so I'm curious to figure out what the status is going to be for Austin Eckler. But their wide receiver in Terry McLaurin, really like him a lot. Luke McCaffrey, a rookie, so doesn't have a lot of experience right now, but looks pretty promising. They also got Diami Brown as well. He was seen to be a really good wide receiver coming out of college. I believe he was a 3rd round pick, but he just hasn't blossomed to the guy that most people wanted him to be, right? Now, their tight end is very familiar, Zach Ertz, right? A former Arizona Cardinal. After we released him, he ended up going over to the Washington Commanders. I think most likely just because the relationship with what he had with Cliff Kingsbury, and he's actually doing a decent job over there. Now, they do got some pieces on the offensive line as well, but I'm not going to sit here and say they have a top 5 offensive line, but neither do the Cardinals, right? We don't have a top 5 offensive line as well. Now, we need to rattle the cage of Jaden Daniels. I think that's foremost one of the most important things what we got to do. We got to confuse them with all the formations that we have on the defensive side of the ball. We got to cause pressure. We got to send blitzes. We got to get back there, right? The Cardinals, I absolutely think we can win this game as long as Kyler Murray can give us the performance that we've seen in week 2, or even like just a small notch under week 2, right? We've seen MVP Kyler Murray in week 2, but we also saw Kyler Murray not look so great, right, in week 3 and week 1. And it's not all on Kyler Murray. It's this whole offense, right? Whether you want to blame that on Marvin Harrison Jr., the wide receiver drops, or even Drew Petzing's play calls, right? Or even just the inability to, get the run game going. Everything needs to work out in order for this Arizona Cardinal team to get this win, right? James Conner needs to be able to get involved in this game. We cannot have another performance like we did against the Detroit Lions where he had under 20 yards. That's absolutely unacceptable. He needs to be able to get involved in the run game, because once that run game gets opened up, everything just opens up for Kyler Murray, bootlegs, play actions, all that different stuff. So I think our offense can be very, very good against this team. It's just we got to make sure that we execute in all those explosive plays to Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson, Trey McBride, as well as Greg Dortch. Now, we did hear a little earlier that Trey McBride was in the concussion protocol on Monday from Jonathan Gannon. Hopefully, fingers crossed that he's going to be able to go in week 4. But to be honest with you, Trey McBride, and I think this is more of a scheme, or maybe even Kyler Murray just not throwing the ball to him as much. I was expecting a lot more for Trey McBride here heading into week 4 of the NFL season. We haven't really got that so far, but I'm hoping that he's going to be able to be healthy heading into week 4. But as of right now, fingers crossed. But this is absolutely winnable game for the Arizona Cardinals. As long as we can get our run game going, keep Kyler Murray upright, and cause pressure to this rookie quarterback, I see absolutely no reason why the Cardinals should not get their second win at home versus Cliff Kingsbury, the Washington Commanders, and a rookie quarterback in Jaden Daniels. All right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Let me know what your guys' prediction is on this game. Put it in the comments below. I have the Arizona Cardinals winning 27-17, and hopefully we get our season back on track. All right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your day, and go Cardinals.
At 250, we're a pissed off team.